Ladies and gentlemen, prime time is back.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I have some good news to share with you, to the fans, to the supporters of Wesam's World. I booked another pilot. This one's for NBC. It's called Echo, and I'm so excited to be part of this show. Special shout out to Sarah Isaacson. Yeah, I said it right. The casting director and everybody there at her casting office for looking out for me. I appreciate it and working with me. And this pilot called Echo is produced, written, and created by J.J. Bailey. And I'm very excited to work with him. Also, some EPs on the show is David Frankel, who's also directing it. Directed The Devil Wears Prada. I don't know if you know
wow.
that. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not only primetime, but
Yeah.
I'm big time.
Yeah, you're big time now.
That
We've moved up from prime time to big time.
I like that.
I'm big time.
I'm big time. I'm big time. I'm big time primetime.
Big time prime time. Dude, that's merch.
That is merch.
That is merch.
That
Big
is
time
merch.
prime time.
Big time primetime. And also John Fox, John Davis, which they have been working in this industry for decades. And
Nice.
they produce some awesome shows together and with their production companies as well. Moira Kirkland is also the showrunner and EP. I'm really excited to work with her as well. Has been in the business for a while. These are all professionals, masters at their craft.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll be honest with you. I think I got the best pilot.
Hell
One of
yeah.
the best. I really do think so.
What's it airing on?
It's airing on NBC.
NBC?
I said that already.
Oh, sorry.
Did you see how the primetime guy came out?
Prime
right
time,
there?
big time, right
Primetime,
there.
big time got angry.
Right there. Yep.
I'm kidding. Yeah, it's NBC.
Nice.
Yeah, NBC Universal. Which, fun fact, I'm also on Good Girls right now,
Right.
and my episode airs, I think, in a couple weeks or this coming week. I forget when. Episode 5, my recurring guest spot on the show starts.
Aw, yeah.
And I got to do some ADR and got to see some clips from the show.
Looks real good.
It looks so good, Peyton. I usually don't say this, but I'm very, what's it called when I watch myself? Very nitpicky.
Yeah.
Very
I get that.
nitpicky. I was laughing out loud at my stuff, and I never do that.
That's good.
That is really good. And
That's a
people
good
around
sign.
me were laughing, and they're like, "This is amazing." And I can't tell you anything about it, but let me tell you this: this is my best acting work on television up to date. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm very proud of it. Very, very thrilled to have worked with everybody at Good Girls, and very appreciative at everybody on NBC for, wanting to work with me again.
Well, hell yeah, man.
Absolutely. And so your first solo show here on Wesam's World, Peyton.
This is.
How do you feel?
Yeah, feel good.
Yeah,
Feeling good.
I feel good about it too, man.
Yeah, I have the chair with the armrest now.
You do. You're in
And
charge.
I'm using it.
That's great.
Yeah.
You want to know a fun fact?
What?
I almost wore a red flannel today too.
Did you?
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
did.
I get it. Red flannels are the hip new big time prime time thing.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Big time, prep time.
Big time prime time.
BTPT.
B.
BTPT. It sounds like a sexual move, so
Yep.
I'm not going to say that anymore.
All right.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is someone that I do yoga with, and he is a teacher at Yoga NOHO. He is an amazing teacher. He teaches one of my favorite hot yoga classes at Yoga NOHO. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Scott Conti.
Come on in.
Yeah. We're recording. We're live. There you go, sir. Have a seat. Good. Good. You look good, as usual.
Thanks, man. You too.
Yeah.
Story's on.
Yep. And if you want to pull up this mic to just underneath your chin so people can still see your beautiful face. I'm kind of jealous that you've got this wonderful beard going on and this long hair.
Yeah, that's new. It's all new.
It's always been here since I've seen you.
Yeah. I just recently just started growing it out and just kind of like fuck it, let it grow.
Yeah.
It grow. It's like kind of fits my vibe.
You have a very laid back vibe, Scott. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was this always present in your life, Scott, or was it something new that came about living in Los Angeles?
So I feel like I've always kind of like had this vibe.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's definitely new because I've had to like kind of see myself outside of myself, and I was like always out of control, fucking off the walls.
Yeah.
Life of the party, loud, fucking just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So through like my yoga practice and kind of finding myself and seeing what I wanted to be and what I want to do with my life,
Yeah.
I kind of, had to take a step back and just kind of find more of a chill state, especially dealing with, today, 2020. It's fucking,
Coronavirus everywhere.
Jeez.
No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine?
Right. Holy fuck. Give me a mask.
Here, for the people listening right now, this is going to be a good conversation about yoga, and really a conversation about awareness and peacefulness at the same time, because I think that is so critical for human beings to have, and they're missing out on it, especially if you live in a big city or even like in a heavy populated town and you're always running around. There's something very necessary to the human being state
Right.
of stillness, of nature, of being by yourself, of being just sit down with your thoughts and not letting them overwhelm you or control you. I think that's necessary, and it's
So
missing
important.
a lot. And yoga is just basically the tool
Right.
to help get you to that state and find at least a little bit of balance with
For
you in
sure.
the beginning. Now, so people kind of understand a little bit about you. I know you couldn't hear out there. We're having problems with our speaker for our guests who are waiting outside before the show starts. But I wanted to talk a little bit about you. I remember taking your hot yoga class for the first time. And what I like about the hot yoga at Yoga NOHO is the fact that it's infrared heat.
Right.
And it's not one of those other hot yoga classes where it's literally like pumping hot
Right.
air.
Super humid.
Super
Yeah.
humid. I can't breathe in there.
Yeah.
It's difficult to breathe.
Right. Right.
That one I'm just like, oh wow, it's just warm. It's very warm. I feel it like deep in me.
Right.
And then taking your class, I was like, oh wow, this is like a legit teacher. And then I was so surprised to find out you hadn't been teaching that long. I thought, hey, how many years have you been teaching? You're like, oh, for a few months. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
What?
Still pretty fresh, man. Always learning.
Oh, that's a great attitude to have. But for people listening, it doesn't seem like you're a few months in. It
Appreciate
really
that.
does seem like you've been doing it for a very long time.
Cool, man.
Yeah. How, just so our listeners get to know a little bit about you, like, and for me as well, are you LA native?
I'm not. I'm originally from South Florida, West Palm Beach.
Okay. I think I remember this. Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, I've been in LA now like 3.5 years.
Oh, cool.
So I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I mean,
3.5 years. That's very new.
yeah. Oh yeah. But
Wow.
I feel like acclimating fairly quickly.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, South Florida was just too much, too hot, too north and south, just so plain and simple. No mountains, so flat.
North and South. What do you mean by that?
Like the state, like you know how like you got like Miami to Tallahassee. It's just like California's super long as well,
Yeah.
but like wide. East and west is
I
like
gotcha.
there's so much space and so many different obstacles and structures and mountains and whatnot. Florida's just like fucking I-95.
Yeah.
That's it. You could get across east and west like in a couple hours.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know. And that's like a metaphor. Like, it's, so basic and not diverse. And it's just like one way or another. Like, you're here. And I just, you can get stuck.
Yeah.
Like anywhere. People could get into their habits here or anywhere for that matter. It's just, change is good.
Yeah.
And
You got out.
And I got out here. I vacationed finally for the first time like 4 years ago, and then was like, this is my home. I'm moving here.
Mm-hmm.
So mapped out a little plan, shipped my shit, shipped my car,
Yeah.
and yeah, here I am.
You shipped your car. You didn't
Shipped
drive it.
Nah, because I had a lease, and I was like, I'm not putting 3,000 miles on it, but I fucking should have.
Sounds expensive to ship a car from Florida.
Actually, I shopped it for a couple of weeks, and I got my car out here for $625.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You just call a couple guys, say, nah, man, this guy quoted me at 7, so can you beat it? Nah, sorry, see ya. Next. Yo, this guy quoted me at 650. I'll do 625. Done.
That
Negotiation.
doesn't. How did they make a profit? Do you know what I mean?
Well, because they try to like route it up. So they grab my car and maybe they grab a car in Orlando on the way
Oh.
up, and then they'll hit whatever, maybe Louisiana on the way. And
Right.
My stuff though, my what was my bedroom in my parents' garage, that took like 2.5 weeks to get here. And I was here for 2 weeks before it came. So thank God my car came, and I was smart enough to put some blankets and pillows and a TV in my car before I shipped it.
Yeah.
And that stuff got here immediately, like a day after I arrived. So that was fantastic. The car service, if I remembered the name, I would shout them out right now.
Yeah.
But I don't. But the shipping service, bro, I was on the phone with them like, where's my shit? Like, you're not getting paid. And then when they finally showed up, they had the audacity to like count the steps and like, oh, you were like 200 feet more than the 150 feet we offer for free unloading and all that. I said, if you think you're getting another penny from me, you guys are fucking high. Get my shit in here, set my bed back up like your company was supposed to, and then get the fuck out of my apartment. I don't ever want to see you again.
Wow.
It was a horrible experience.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was just, where's our stuff? I can't believe it. I told you we shouldn't have done this. We should have used a better company. We should have paid more. I'm like, I was, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, we got a pillow and a blanket. We were sleeping on the floor for like 2 weeks. But
Man,
it was humbling. It was, whatever. We got over it.
some of those moving companies, I've seen some scams on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very sketchy.
So the guy's like, I'm like trying to communicate with the driver, and we had to stop here to pick up another load. We had to stop here, and then I'm like, your thing says that the truck was in Arizona like a week ago. Why are you not here? And the truck broke down, dude. Like all the shit I heard more about that company than anybody wants to hear about a fucking moving company, like, and all negative shit.
Yeah.
Not fun.
In that during that time period where you did move out here, were you doing yoga at all, or?
I wasn't.
Oh,
no.
interesting.
I was still bartending.
Okay.
So I was actually transitioning. I was interviewing for, trying to get a bartending gig, which happened pretty quickly.
That's good. It's usually somewhat easy to get a bartending job in Los Angeles.
For sure.
If you know how to bartend.
Right. Just whip up a fake resume, tell them you've been doing it forever, and there you go.
Yeah.
Nah, my family has been in the industry. My father owned a bar and grill back in the day, and they owned a catering company, so I did bartending for weddings and all those events.
Yeah.
And we started needing like all the stuff for weddings, DJ and this, so I became a DJ.
Yeah.
So I started DJing weddings, and I just did all this
wow.
stuff for the family and did some side gigs. But I stopped doing that, and then I bartended here for a year and a half or two, and was just sick and tired of that life, man. Just tired of the whole lifestyle and just relying on other people to make my money, which, now I think about it, I mean, a lot of industries are that way, including yoga, including, the other food service and hospitality industries. But I was just tired of feeling like undermined and just like replaceable, and that job, you're a bartender, you're a server, they could hire you and fire you at their will, and it's just like, you know what, if I ever get back into that industry again, it's going to be me running my own show. Because most of the people that do it wrong. And it's just, I was tired of watching it, tired of seeing it, so I got out. and with the help of yoga. I took a yoga class, got my life together, and it was like, let me just get out of it. Like, I went broke financially for like a year and got rich mentally. So it was well worth it.
Yeah, the investment in someone's mental state and your own personal well-being, that's something a lot of people take for granted and don't end up doing. And
Agreed.
finding things that I found early on that helped my mental state is streamlining my life. You know, getting rid of some junk I have around the house. If I have an old computer and I know I'm using the computer a lot for work, it's like, okay, I need to streamline it. I need to sell this. I need to find a payment plan to get a better computer, and that'll make me happier, and I'll be in a better mental state so I can create more and be more creative. A lot of people are scared to take that step, you know? They don't want to spend money to make money kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So whenever you took that first yoga class, was your first yoga class out here in LA?
It was actually at Yoga NOHO Center where I ended up taking my teacher training.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And did you just feel like...
I was just like helpless. I was looking for something to just like to give me something. Like I needed to heal myself, and I didn't know how. I didn't know what. I was addicted to many things, drinking and just out of shape horribly, like physically, mentally. And I just typed in yoga, and then a studio popped up. I found a class, and first teacher I took, I believe her name was Nicole. Her class was incredible, and I just like felt so connected, even though I felt completely out of place and like, what the hell am I doing here? I don't even know how to breathe properly. Yeah. And I'm like huffing and puffing through the postures and everything, but I got through it, and I really was appreciative of like the whole meditation process and just kind of being still, finding that calmness. And yeah, from there, like I had like a goal to get in shape physically, and I didn't think of anything mentally. I was just kind of like, let's see if this works. So that night after my first yoga class, I got on the treadmill for like 2.5 hours. Like I was walking most of it, but I was just on there for like 10 miles. Just like, that's the attitude I had going in. And it worked. Just like, what am I going to do? Go sit on my couch? When I felt like stopping, I'm like, what am I going to go do after this? Go on the couch and fucking do nothing. Like, no. Like, I have a mission, and through meditation and just, you know, really understanding what I needed, it just really helped fuel me through whatever it was I was dealing with.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It feels like it had started your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it got my life back on track. Like, I've said it many times, like, yoga fucking saved me. Like, yeah. I needed it. And now I don't like to use that word, need, because we don't need anything, right? Most of the things we need are, you know, essentials like water and food, but, you know.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I was just going to say, sometimes we need tools.
Right.
And what's very amazing about yoga in particular, let me take a step back. There's something amazing about extreme physical exercise in general. And when I say extreme physical exercise, that doesn't mean like, you know, training like a Navy SEAL trains, you're, you know, deadlifting 650 or you know, doing reps on it or something like. No. I'm talking about what's extreme for you and your body state at this moment. When you push yourself to that limit consistently, something physiologically starts changing about you. The way your brain works, the way you breathe starts changing. Your lungs start being able to take in more air, more oxygen. And that's been proven, like whenever your oxygen saturation starts getting higher and higher, your brain starts working at a much more efficient and higher rate.
For sure.
And what's beautiful about yoga is it takes you to that physical state fairly quickly. Especially if you're listening and you do Kundalini. Oh, it's like, oh, you're there already. And I'm crying for no reason. Yeah. Awesome. No joke. Last with Chutney, which, by the way, I'm having Chutney on this. I'm trying to get Chutney on the show.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous about asking her. I don't know why.
Yeah, good luck. she's a busy woman, and
She
like
is.
I don't know, maybe something like a podcast might be under her realm of like healing. And no, I need to. I don't know.
I don't know.
She's
She
awesome.
might be positive
yeah,
about
no,
it too.
definitely, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that one.
Oh man, there's something like what I was saying was the last Kundalini class I took. I was just crying,
Yeah,
and I'm not a person who cries
right.
at all. I rarely cry, and I'm just in there. I'm like, and it was a healing. She's like, today we're gonna focus on healing. Think about something. I'm like, okay, cool. And then just tears just start rolling down my
Yeah.
face, and I'm like, what's happening?
Nuts.
I'm changing.
What the hell's happening?
I'm
to me?
changing as a person. So yoga is this wonderful tool, this wonderful path to kind of start changing you for the better. And it starts physically, I believe, because I believe this, we are spiritual beings in physical bodies. So there has to be this kind of marriage and this yin-yang relationship with our physical and spiritual side.
Right.
And sometimes to open the spiritual side, we have to endure some physical extreme things, if that makes any
Gotta
sense.
push ourselves. Gotta find that resistance, which sometimes turns into a comfort zone, and we gotta break through.
Yeah.
We gotta, move beyond our limitations. Like we get so comfortable like doing things a certain way for, some people like our entire lives, and we gotta break that. We gotta break habits, and most habits are not great habits. If we could change that and start plugging in some good habits, some stuff that is physically and mentally beneficial, that's great. But, yoga's like, it stills the mind, right? It calms the mind. It's like a connection between the mind, body, and spirit. There's a storm in our head that's just always going on, right? Our thoughts. And there's a storm outside. Literally, there's hurricanes and there's, accidents and stuff that happens every single day. That's not going to stop. But we can stop this for 5 minutes, right? Maybe an hour, depending on how much time we have. It's so important to calm this storm in order to embrace everything around us. Otherwise, we're just in the fucking cyclone. We're just a part of it. If we could shut that out, put the phone down, put the friends, family, work, all that shit to the side, and be with ourselves for one fucking breath, it'll make a huge difference in your life. And I discovered that through practicing, taking a class. And it's just, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to find a little practice, something, yoga. It doesn't even have to be yoga. It's just got to be something you can escape your reality, which then that escape becomes your reality. Like, that's where you want to be. You don't want to.
Don't do meth, though. I just want to clarify that escape cannot be
Sure.
meth. Somebody's like, cool, meth.
And like, I don't know.
No, I know.
Some people like, go golfing and shut the shit off and get on the golf course for 4 hours because that's their getaway, right? And
Yes.
that's great. But if that's your work and your life, Tiger Woods probably does yoga outside of golfing because we need that. We need the change. We need the calming of the mind, man, or else it's just going to get caught up in that storm.
Right. That is so well put. I want that. That's the clip.
You got it.
That's the clip for the show, man. You nailed it on the head. That calming aspect, that storm that goes on inside your mind, and because of the storm going out, on around you. And what's wonderful is it's very easy to meditate. It's very easy to do yoga when things aren't going well. When things are going well for you.
Right.
Of course, it's easy. The challenge and the push and the will and the conviction that you need to find in yourself is when things aren't going well for you. And when, in fact, things are going really not well for you, to go and find that yoga time, that meditation time, and practice.
Right.
It's not going to necessarily, just because I went to yoga class, it's going to solve all my problems.
Right.
It's going to solve the way you handle those problems, which is even more important. And it's helped me in the past tremendously. When I was going through some really tough times, I actually just was like, I need to go do some type of yoga, some type of meditation, and just kind of get my life in order.
Right.
And it was hard sometimes showing up to class, but I always felt good about it. That's what I feel on the mountain, on my pre-dawn runs.
Right.
I've never once regretted doing it.
Right. That's incredible.
Even if I didn't want to, afterwards, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I did it. I feel so good right now.
Yeah, I hike now. Like, that was something I didn't even, like, I was the guy who said, you want me to climb up a fucking mountain?
Yeah,
no way.
yeah.
Now I love it. And, like, getting up to the top of the mountain is, like, I just, achieved something.
Right.
And it's this, like, powerful feeling of, like, feeling on top of the world, literally. And, yeah, we need those things. Like, I hate that word, but we should all try to find that quiet place, those escapes, those moments that we could reflect on and kind of be above ourselves. Otherwise, we're so, into ourselves and full of ourselves. We got to get out of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, yoga was taught to me during my first acting class in college when I was studying acting and theater. And at first I was like, why are we doing yoga in acting? It was voice and movement. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so not me. I don't like yoga. I don't like it. I was already flexible from martial arts and stuff. So that's the only bit where I'm like, yeah, I can do the splits, whatever. But I didn't realize the benefits of it till afterwards. Like I was just testing for this NBC pilot that I got. And
nice. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
It's awesome.
Prime time, big time again.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
And the way I calm myself right before I go in is doing certain breathing exercises that I learned from yoga. Stretching.
Yeah.
Just getting my body loose. And I could not imagine not having yoga as a tool to get me comfortable. I would have been like, I can't move. I'm so nervous.
Right. Yeah, I use it now as my tool for everything. Like, I'm an athlete. I've always been pretty decent at most sports that I play. But since yoga, like, it has elevated my skills in every single sport that I play.
Yeah,
like,
right?
I still play baseball on Sundays, like every weekend with the boys. And I'll just, like, meditate in the on-deck circle. Like, a couple of nice big deep breaths and then remember what I'm trying to do. It's like, oh, bat the ball, nice and easy swing. Don't try to kill the ball. Get up there and, swing at something down the middle. And I batted, like, over 500 this season. Like, it was one of the best hitting seasons I've had that I could remember. I played college football last semester at Valley College. Like, I'm 31. And it was just something that I always said. I kicked in high school a little bit as a punter. And I just always had this, like, weight on my shoulder. Like, oh, I could do that. I could go kick for a college team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. And I was out practicing with a buddy, and he ended up getting a job as a special teams coach at Valley College. And he hits me up. He's like, hey, guess what? I'm coaching at Valley College, and there's a punter job for you if you want it. So that was like my ticket to getting back into school. And I played college football. So that was like fucking incredible. Yeah, and I could, like, my foot flies like a foot and a half over my head. And if I could, connect that with the ball, that thing goes.
Well, you have your hands on a lot of things, man. I noticed you have 3 Instagram accounts, and that would drive me crazy because I already have one for myself and one for the show, and somebody else usually runs the one for the show because I can barely handle mine.
It's a lot easier than it seems. It's one page, and then I got the other 2 like linked to it, so I could just kind of like switch over to this one, and it's a lot, but yeah, I'm crazy. Scott Conti Yoga and Chef Scoot. I do it all, so check me out.
Chef Scoot, how'd you get that name?
Well, after becoming a yogi, I soon after became vegan, so I changed my diet completely because I was 190 pounds, like 50 pounds overweight and out of shape. Yeah, and I used yoga and those tools to shed 50 pounds in like 3-4 months.
Wow.
It's doable.
3-4 months, 50 pounds?
Yeah.
That's like what?
I don't do math.
Hold on. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just trying to figure out the math here. So
It was just coming off me like
50
at an
pounds.
incredible rate because my metabolism from exercising and doing yoga every day and eating stuff that my body wasn't used to and not eating stuff that my body was used to, it just kind of all was happening at a rapid pace. And I felt great about it. And it, helped me to feel like I can achieve anything. Like if I could do that, like that quickly, what can I do?
Yeah.
And it was just a long time where I was letting myself go through my 20s and just not really paying attention to what I ate, what I drank, how I slept. And yoga helped me realize I was all out of fucking whack.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that's so cool to me because I've always, coming out to LA, I knew I wanted to be an actor. And it's so interesting to me hearing stories from other people who came out to Los Angeles just because they like to live here. They wanted to get out of their hometown, but not because they wanted to be an actor necessarily. You know what I mean? Or it's just so interesting to me. So then what do you? I don't know. So you're just kind of you got into these bad habits. You found yoga, you got your life back on track, and now you're just enjoying life, doing yoga, doing a bunch of other things, being happy.
Doing everything, man. I like to, like you said, I like to have my my hand in as many baskets as I can. I like to be that jack of all everything guy.
Yeah.
But I kind of moved out here. I was still trying to figure that out, and I started writing a little bit. So I wrote a screenplay, a movie that I'm still kind of trying to work on. And I was like, I'm going to come to Hollywood and sell that shit.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote it, and I still haven't, I've talked about it to some people, but I've been super self-critical about it and just kind of, going back and trying to fix it instead of just finishing it and then, maybe asking for somebody's help to, edit it and get somebody on board. But it's still a goal. The movie is called Get Rich. It's kind of like what I've been dealing with. It's basically like a movie about some kid who wants it all, him and his friends, want everything. He wants to get rich, so he thinks, financially. So that all happens. He gets rich. I have these little twists and stuff that goes on. There's a lot to it, but I won't go there.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to steal it on air.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's cool, though, with the script,
Yeah, it was cool. So I wrote a play in college for one of my final grades, and my presentation, instead of doing whatever most of the people did, a research paper on a stage actor or whatever, I was like, can we perform this play as my presentation? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So I just kind of took my roles, hey, you be this person, you be that person, and we just improv the whole thing right up there.
Yeah.
And the instructor was just so blown away by it. He's like, we should do this in drama club next semester. And I was like, cool. So I took the flow of that play and put it into my movie. And now I got I love bringing it up and talking about it, but I got to get back on it because I believe in it and I really want to move it forward.
Yeah, you should. Mm-hmm. You know what's something I found that helps me writing-wise? Because I'm not a writer. I've been practicing writing, but no. That is not something I'm strong at for right now. I was reading, I gotta stop saying fucking on air.
Love.
That drives me crazy. It drives me, when I say
nuts, it, you just did it again.
I just did it again? Oh my gosh. If I could punch myself right now, I would punch myself. Drives me up a wall when I do it. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I read good, the best pilot scripts, for instance, Breaking Bad. What are some other ones? My management team sent me a bunch, and I read those, and I was like, cool. I started deconstructing them. What makes these good? How was their intro? How long was it? How many pages? And then a fun writing exercise is to try to use the exact same skeletal structure, for the Breaking Bad pilot, and write your story into that Make it fit.
That usually works. It usually works. Yeah,
I was like, oh wow,
yeah.
wow. There might be something here. You know.
There's that book. What's it called? Save the Cat.
I know everybody said I have it.
But
I haven't read it.
the movies. If you watch the movies, every single big screen movie is following that structure.
Oh, okay.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Like, they're not getting made unless they're like on point with that. It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's kind of changing a little bit now. Like people are, coming out with wild shit and it's working.
Yeah.
But that structure, that format works. So people are doing it. Just, don't change it. Like there's like one line I remember in there is like, do it different, but the same. I don't know. It's weird.
I know it sounds crazy. For people listening, you'd be surprised how many, like what you're saying, the structure of a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, it's kind of recycled a little bit to a certain extent. That's why a movie like Parasite, have you seen Parasite?
Not yet. No. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Chef Scoot?
Fucking show shot.
Chef Scoot. It's awesome.
I know.
You saw it, right?
I
I've heard,
finally
no.
watched it last week.
Oh!
Yeah, for the first time last week.
Please, what do you think?
Oh, it was amazing.
Great.
It definitely deserved Best Picture.
Yeah.
Everything
Nice.
about it. Dude, I had so much fun when in the first 40 minutes of the movie, I was like, I'm digging this. And then the shit starts happening.
The genre
and
shift?
Anxiety kicks in. And I'm just like,
Yep.
it's a masterpiece.
I know.
Yeah, nice.
So good.
Yeah.
When you care about characters you shouldn't care about, that's, wow. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like not knowing where the story was going.
Yeah. That's cool.
I really enjoy that. We're going to do current events here in a little bit. Are you ready for those?
Yeah.
Oh, great. But, again, man, I think yoga, or finding something like yoga, is so critical. Like you were saying, I can't express to people how good I feel after your class. I love martial arts. I love... I took I audited a few Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, and I love that aspect of physically, trying to get choked out by another person in a safe place.
Right.
And however, for my work, it's not very safe. Eventually you're going to get injured. You're going to get an elbow to the face unintentionally. You're just going to get more likely to get injured. But the feeling I get after doing one of those martial arts classes is like I'm just drenched in sweat. I feel feel so happy, and calm. I feel like I've exerted all this negative energy out already and focus, and I get that same feeling from yoga.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's such a wonderful, especially the hot yoga flow classes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so important. I've been teaching a lot more lately, so my personal practice has dropped a little bit. So that's, not fun. But whenever I'm like, oh, I don't think I can make it to class, which is usually an excuse, when I do, like you said, there's never a time I regret it. Never a time where I'm like, oh, damn, why did I take that class? It's why didn't I take 2? Why am I not taking another one? Well, what do I have that's so important that I can't be, showing up for myself for another hour?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I need it. It calms you down. It lifts you up. It does everything.
My youngest brother, the one who came, was visiting. He's doing yoga now in Oklahoma.
Nice.
He'd never done it before.
Wow. Good for him.
And he's like, I actually really like it. And I kind of craving it.
Yeah.
Something different about yoga, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. And now since I'm in the yoga teacher training program at Yoga NOHO,
Yeah.
I'm delving more into the history, the origin, the poses, all the mechanics, and that immersion is helping me have even a deeper understanding for yoga.
Sure.
I never knew that one of the meanings for the word yoga is the union with the divine, your will with the will of God. And I'm a pretty spiritual person, and so I was like, wow, I love that, because that's what it did for me years ago, and now I didn't know that at that time, and now oh wow, I didn't know that was the meaning of yoga.
Right.
And I was like, oh wow, that's so amazing. There must be some truth to this. There must be some truth and some real benefits, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually to this. So I'm just very blessed to have come across it, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you didn't look up yoga that one day? Where would you be?
No fucking clue. That's something to ponder on.
225,
Dude.
waiting outside Krispy Kreme.
Fucking A, man. It's definitely a possibility.
How sad would that be if somebody's listening to the show right now and they're like, they're outside Krispy Kreme. They're like, I need to go get yoga.
Yeah. But for the viewers and the listeners, there's no limit. Like, if your parents are, like, out of shape and you want to offer them some advice, tell them to go take a yoga class. There's a class for everybody. And then you could do it on your own, which is so important. You know, there's people that just get out and take a class religiously, but you need to have your own. Like, that's what yoga is.
Yeah.
It's for you. It's not for you to show your ass in class, right? Like, because sometimes that's a lot of people's goal. Like, oh, let me go get in shape physically. Let me do a handstand and look good, right? It's, you got to do these things for you, right? Like, it's a difficult one to explain, but you just got to show up for yourself. Like, I tell my students and friends, 99% of the practice is showing up. Just being there. Like, you can go take a yoga class and lie in shavasana or corpse pose the whole time, and you'll get just as many benefits as everybody else for being there. You'll appreciate the dialogue and, some of the breathing exercises, and it will make a huge difference. It's all about being there.
One of the things I enjoy about your class is the fact that it's simple in the way you're describing the poses, and the way you're teaching it is so straightforward that even though it's hot in there, I don't know, man. I've taken quite a few different yoga classes from a bunch of yoga teachers, and sometimes you can feel a fake personality. Mm-hmm. I've never come across it at Yoga NOHO, but I've come across it in other studios where I'm like, oh, I can't stand being here because of the teacher.
Right.
You might be a really good teacher, but I can't stand it. But what's nice about you and the other teachers at Yoga NOHO is, like, it's coming from a truthful place. There's not a lot of BS. Were you there when Nathan was there?
I wasn't.
Yeah, he was a really good teacher. He taught a lot of early morning classes.
Nice.
He was really into yoga.
Yeah.
Like, would wear white all the time and, like, talk about, like, the poses, their origins.
Right.
And he had this wonderful, gentle morning class. Mm-hmm. I'd sometimes do it after my run. Or if I was feeling really stressful, I'd just go in there at, like, 6:15, 6:30 and just do it. And I'm like, dude, you special guy. You yogi? you real yogi, Nathan. That's the way I feel about Chutney, too. She's really intense in the class.
Knows her shit.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, when somebody comes in, like, at first, I was a little, like, said skeptical. Like again. I know. No, skeptical, yeah, because that's just, we live in Los Angeles. And if you're not skeptical living in Los Angeles of people who
are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you will be scammed very easily, sir.
Yeah.
Or ma'am.
Yeah.
Or whatever pronoun you go by. But the fact that while I was taking the class, like, oh no, this is a genuine person. This is not a show. They're living the lifestyle, not just in class but outside of class.
Right.
That's the person I want to learn from.
Yeah. That's so important. That's a good thing there's a good thing to add there. If you take a class and right away you're like, oh, fuck this. You don't, like, connect with the teacher and you're like, what am I doing here? First of all, power through it and try to be there for you. But try another class. Make your rounds. I got lucky. The first class I took, connected with her. It was an incredible experience for me.
Yeah.
But a couple weeks later, I took a class. And if that teacher that I had taken a couple weeks later was the teacher I took for my first time, I probably would have never done yoga again.
Wow.
And that happens. It sucks for people who are like, I'm going to try yoga. This is going to be the best thing ever. They get there and they're horribly disappointed. Never again. Give it another shot. because like I said, like 2 weeks worth of time could have made the difference for me if it was like a different teacher on the schedule or whatever. I was just horribly thrown off. Like, thank goodness I was already taking class for a couple of weeks, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, sometimes not that any teachers are bad or whatever. I mean, that's certainly a possibility, but don't let it discourage your path.
Would you say yoga is beneficial for someone who has severe anxiety?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, anxiety is basically living in the future. Depression is living in the past.
Mm.
You got to be present. That's what yoga is all about. Right? What are we anxious about? Something we're about to do. Something that we're thinking about. Something that might happen. What are we depressed about? Something that happened back in the day. Something tragic.
Right.
We got to be present, right? And that's what it's all about. It's being there for you, with you. Otherwise, if we're in class and our thought process is, well, I'm going to go take a yoga class and I'll be perfect for my audition later. You're fucking shot.
Yeah.
Like, go be there for you there. Don't worry about that stuff. And that's why breathing and, meditating is so great, because you could allow those thoughts to just, wash away. And then you could more genuinely realize what your mission is, what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that audition or work later or dealing with your parents or whatever it might be just becomes a lot easier to handle.
Absolutely.
And then, like, the love that we try to give out becomes more genuine. Like, if we don't love ourselves, how could we suggest to anybody that, they're doing great? Or, I don't know. But, like, self-love is so important, and yoga helps you, reestablish that.
Self-love is so important, and yoga helps you reestablish that. I like that.
I said this thing, like, as far as, like, the physical practice, because I was, like, teaching some harder stuff, some, like, handstands and headstand stuff, and I started noticing it's a big fear thing. Like, a lot of people just don't want to go up because they're afraid of falling down. But we have to learn how to fall. We need to go beyond that fear, right? Like, the body takes over. Like, I've watched someone's legs, like, go from, like, here, trying to get up into a handstand, and then they just start, like, shaking here because their mind is telling them, oh, fuck, I might break my neck, or something might happen if I go all the way. We got to take that chance once in a while. I'm not saying go do a handstand in the middle of the room right now if you've never tried it, but I'm saying get out of your head. The best way to get into your body is to get out of your head, because our physical bodies are capable to do whatever. Like, it might take a certain amount of time for a certain amount of people, depending on how far we've let ourselves go. But it's all there. It's all possible.
Right.
But it all starts here.
Yeah.
It's all mental.
Oh man, I'm so glad you said that. I'm a firm believer in it's all mental.
Oh, yeah.
I am 100% believer in that.
In everything, man. And a lot. Athletes, there's so many amazing athletes, but who could breathe and perform with cameras on them and as a professional? Not that many. That's why.
Well, one of my favorite. I don't like basketball. When I say I don't like it, I don't say I hate it. I just don't watch it. I don't follow it.
I don't love it either.
Yeah. However, Kobe Bryant was somebody I respected and admired his work ethic and how obsessed he was at becoming the best at it. And the mental games he would play with his opponents. I love this story. This guy was talking about, he was about to play Kobe's team, so he got into the gym a little earlier. He was there at like 6 or 5, and Kobe's already there. He's already working up a sweat. He's already like sweating, right? So they start working out together, right? And then the guy says he's working out for like an hour or 2 or 3, whatever it is, and then he sits and just waits and watches Kobe. And this whole time, Kobe's been running drills. Like, he's not like kind of like half-assing his workout.
Right.
He is going hard. And then he continues to go hard. And then he waits to see how long Kobe is going to continue to work out. And he's just sitting there kind of watching him secretly. And he just, like, he's there, but he's just, like, constantly looking. He's like, holy shit, this guy's still... Yeah. Well, they play the game, everything, and then afterwards, he went up to him and told him about it, and he's like, yeah, I wanted you to know that there was nothing you could do to beat me. Like, I wanted to show you that no matter how hard you work, I'm going to outwork you every single time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, I don't care where you're at physically. If your mental state isn't there, you're not going to be able to perform like that. That kind of mental tenacity.
Mamba mentality.
Oh, man. Imagine applying that to your daily life. Imagine applying that to your self-love.
Right.
Imagine applying that to how you're going to be of service to your community, of service to your family and friends. What kind of impact would you have, not only on your life, but other people's lives? Mm-hmm. Imagine what you could do with that. And imagine how good you'll feel at the end of the day going, man, this is the right path. This is what life is about.
Yeah.
At least this might not be what life's about, but I know for a fact it's infinitely better than where I was at, being selfish, being harmful to others and myself.
Yeah.
Man, I love these type of conversations. They get me fired up about life.
For sure.
Let's talk about some current events. Yeah?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're turning on the... You sound like my brother all the time when you say that. I can't get over that.
Say sounds good.
Sounds just the way you say it.
Sounds good?
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
So, I don't know if you heard about this, but over in good old Orlando...
Oh, God, Florida.
The Jungle
news.
Cruise boat sank into the murky waters at Disneyland, and Twitter was having a blast with this. So Disney hasn't really come out and said, like, what's happened. They just said the boat, it did get filled with water, and it slowly started sinking. This is a picture of, like, onlooking people watching the boat slowly sink. And then we have some pictures inside of the boat. People are just standing there waiting to get out. And apparently ducks... We're trying to attack people.
What?
Which, yeah, like some ducks, because like Disney's, have you ever been to Disney
Yes.
World? It's covered in ducks. Ducks are running around everywhere, and they got in the waters. Apparently, we're trying to like nip at people's feet.
I did?
Get the fuck out
And
of my water.
a lot of people were joking around about like, hey, think about if this is somebody's first time on the ride. And they think this is like part of it. Like it starts like sinking and going to a thing, and people are like, wow. So... Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you this. If a duck tries to nip at me, I'm going alpha. I'm going to have to kick it. Set an example for the rest of the ducks. Like, oh, we can't do that.
That's terrible.
Jeff just got kicked.
Have you seen The Lighthouse?
I know it's terrible, but I got to set the precedence. I'm not having the duck think it's alpha over me.
Yep.
Anyway.
Have you seen The Lighthouse? That
No.
like bird clip? You'll know if you see it.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson and a
Oh.
bird.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
No.
it's.
No, I have to see it. I'll tell you this. I have a friend named Jonte LaGrosse, and I'll tell you something. If he was nipped by a duck, that duck would be the alpha.
Nice.
Yeah, he's very scared of anything flying.
Yeah.
Anything bird-related. Very,
Yeah?
very frightened of it.
Wow.
He's going to hate me for saying this, but I don't care.
At least he listened.
Yes,
If
at
you
least
got all the way here, thanks, man.
he listens to every show. He looks up to me.
Nice. That's what's up.
I'm his guru, I guess you could say.
That's a strong word. I like it, though.
It is. Bold choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I got two things about. Do you know the company Ring by Amazon? The doorbell, the camera, you can two-way talk. There are two interesting things that have happened with that. The first one is this California couple. It's just such a funny video. They've been having problems with people breaking into the back of their truck and stealing tools. And so they bought this high-power sprinkler to fend off, that's motion activated, to fend off any oncoming robbers.
Oh, wow.
I just want you to check this out.
Wow.
Oh,
Yep. That's what you get.
love that. Genius.
Is that acid?
Yes. They filled it with acid. They are now arrested for first-degree murder. But no.
What?
No.
No.
Sorry, I was... Wow. It's like, what? That's a fucking awesome story now.
And then this other one is straight out of like a horror movie, I feel like. So this family got their Ring camera hacked in their 8-year-old daughter's room, and a man started talking to her through it. And first he started playing, and I'm not going to play it for copyright reasons, but he started playing Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim, like straight out of the fucking Insidious movie. And then he starts talking to her. And
I
she's
saw this,
very
man.
You saw it?
Yeah, I don't even want to play it if that's okay. It's
Yeah,
just so
no
fucked
problem.
up. It makes me upset and angry.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that to a kid? Like, you're a sick person.
Yeah.
This family...
Sadly, there's sick fucking people in this world.
Yeah, they reached out to customer service, and the sad thing is Ring wasn't very helpful with the situation. It's been happening to multiple people now, and Ring saying, "Oh no, they're not hacking us. They're hacking some like second party thing that's able to access Ring." And it's like, no, in the end, they're hacking you.
Yep.
Well,
There's a way in your doorbell.
Well, actually, I remember this story, and from what I gathered from what this other podcast was actually talking about, the fighter and the kid, they actually said that the people's email account was hacked into.
Oh.
That's the information I got from the story. So it wasn't actually Ring necessarily. It's just that person's email account was hacked into.
Interesting.
And they were able to change the password and able to log on and everything and do that whole thing.
Gotcha. See, I did not know that because all that's taking up is like the family is like trying to sue Ring.
Right.
And stuff, and it makes it look like
Well, I mean,
Ring's this big piece of shit who's not doing anything.
I would only want it in the door, like actual door. I don't want any cameras inside my home.
Right.
I'd rather want everything pointed outwards.
Mm-hmm.
Anything inside the home, it gets kind of...
That's invasive.
I know. I'm sure a really good hacker could hack into anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've let that ship fucking sail. Like, oh, your cable box or your this and that. I mean, if they want us, they got us.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if anybody in, like, a higher level of, I don't know, what fucking government or...
NSA?
elitist, whatever.
Oh, yeah, they're listening to everything.
Whatever the fuck they want, they got. Like,
Yep.
nah, I just stopped years ago. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to live my life scared, or I'm not going to not use certain things because I think this might happen. They fucking got me. They got whatever they want. So just be a fucking good person, and who gives a shit?
Yeah. What do they say? The thing that will burn you, or like if you ever ran for office, the thing that would like ruin you, you've already done.
Yeah.
And they've already recorded it.
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh,
You're fucking
okay.
toast already, buddy.
Yeah. That's why everybody's bought out.
Yeah.
That's my conspiracy side coming out.
Yeah.
And yeah. What else we got?
Well, I don't really have an article for it, but I wanted to bring it up because I went and checked his Twitter page again, and I just thought it was so funny because we talked about earlier. I was looking up to see if there was any more progress on Hollywood Boulevard getting expanded with all of that sidewalk thing and down to 2 lanes, and it looks like plans are falling through. Like nobody wants to do it because it's a stupid idea, but I just wanted to let you know it looks like it's not going to happen. There's nothing about it anymore.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I don't know if I heard about the falling through, but I heard they're supposed to be doing something, and it sounded like a ridiculous idea.
They were trying to like cut down Hollywood Boulevard to 2 lanes and have bike
and more walking and add the bike lanes, right?
Yeah, because that's what we see on Hollywood Boulevard all the time. Bikes.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Well, you know what? No, to the guy who made that up.
Mitch O'Farrell.
Mitch O'Farrell. Come on the show. Let's have a chat. I want to know which part of this you thought was a good idea. Love to know. You bought out? You bought out, Mitch? Just got all quiet in here. Scott's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my
Wesam needs yoga right now.
Scott's like best friends with Mitch.
Yeah,
He's like, oh my God.
No, I honestly would love to have Mitch on the show if he'd love to come on. And I would love to debate him on why this is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard of in my life. I just would love to know that.
I do think something could be done to help the flow of foot and vehicle traffic.
Yeah.
I don't like on the spot have a solution, but
Yeah.
there are certainly ways. Maybe like a overwalk, kind of like a bridge level of flow, like kind of like Vegas. You know how they like connect those 4 hotels.
Wow, that sounds infinitely
Yeah.
better. I love how you just came up with this on the spot, and it's infinitely better than what he worked on.
I was actually listening to that, and I was like, that's actually a solution
Yeah.
that I would be
while we're
game
there,
for.
Let's replace the
Bridges.
fucking palm
Yeah.
trees with fruit trees, and then we feed everybody as well.
I've heard that idea going around too.
Love
Go. I mean, and all these people who have those fruit trees in their yards, they don't use them.
Not only that,
They just like don't touch my fruit, so they could fall and go bad, and then someone's got to clean them up.
well, see, that's also an argument I heard against them. Like, well, what happens when all the fruit goes bad and goes on the ground? It's like, yeah, you have the same people who are already taking care of all the greenery. Pick them up and
it
take
up.
them. And guess what? I'd rather take. It's not like
We
rotting
could
fruit.
use that stuff. We could put it in soil. You could use it to flourish the fucking
Yeah.
planet. I mean,
Yes, dude. This is why I should be emperor. I've been saying this since episode 1. Emperor Wesam Quiche.
Wesam's world.
Yeah. Give me a year.
In
give,
a world.
Give me 6 months. Unlimited power. Dude.
Wow.
You're living in a different world, man.
Wesam's world.
My world.
Wow.
And guess what? It's great.
Party time.
It's better.
Excellent.
My gosh.
Love it.
Is that all we got?
That's all we got.
How are we on time?
We have met the necessary
Yeah, we're
time.
good.
We have passed an hour.
Thanks for having me.
Scott, it's been a blast. What's your middle name?
Ross.
Ross?
There's no relation to my family or... Yeah, it was just like, we need to give this kid a fucking second name.
Okay. I don't have a
Everybody
middle
else,
name.
I have 6 siblings,
Yeah.
and they all have like a relative's name
Wow.
in their middle name, like, and mine's just fucking Ross.
Are you
Ross.
the youngest or the oldest?
I'm like right in the middle.
Okay,
Wow.
so that's interesting that they
Yeah.
decided in the middle.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
stop doing that and then pick it back up.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Very.
You're gonna have to email your parents.
Hit them up.
They're like, who is this guy asking about your middle name?
I think it flows though. Scott Ross. Right?
It does. Scott
Yeah.
Ross Conti.
That's right.
Yeah. SRC.
Follow me on Instagram.
Which accounts?
Just follow me on the
Okay,
Scott
okay.
Show. DA and then Scott Show.
Yeah. And then
That
Chef
was-
Scoot.
The was taken,
Yeah.
like the word.
Oh, really?
So I used duh. Fucking duh.
That's funky.
It flows.
It does.
Hit me up. And then, yeah, my other pages are on my profile on that
Yeah.
page.
I love your yoga one
Yeah.
because obviously for yoga.
Yeah, it's fun.
And it's
Yeah, follow me on there if anybody listening is interested in taking class. I post my schedule on that page, Scott
Yeah.
Conti Yoga. And if you mention this podcast and hit me up, first class is on me.
oh, great.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Oh
And
my
that-
gosh, we'll put that in the is that
Yeah.
cool if we do an ad for it?
For sure.
Yeah, we'll do that in the posts and whatnot.
For sure.
And then
I'll probably have to limit it to like 2 people per class, but I'll definitely get your
Oh, yeah.
class on me if you hit me up and let me know.
Okay. Message Scott then on Instagram at The Scott Show.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him you heard it here, and he can set up the day and the time you come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you just
so
see my
that-
schedule on there, hey, I want to take 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, just hit me up
Yeah.
and it's on me. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, so we don't have like 50 people coming
Right.
in.
I mean,
because
that'd
they
be
won't
great.
fit.
Like if that happens, then
Yeah.
I'll just set you up for the next class and we'll
Yeah.
make it happen.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for our
no
listeners. That's great. We'll do a little ad for it
yeah.
on our Instagram and socials as well. A little shout out to Yoga NOHO. And, dude, thank you so much for making time and coming on the show. I
For
appreciate
sure,
it, man.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, man.
Seriously, man, I love taking your class, and I love all the positivity and the knowledge. And, yeah, just taking your class makes me feel great. So I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's one of my favorite yoga classes so far.
See you Monday night.
Maybe.
6 p.m.
Yeah. You know what? I have to like get a bunch of yoga in before I head to filming because we film
You'll be there.
in NYC. Yeah. I'll try to bring friends. I always try to bring
Cool,
friends.
man.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, I appreciate you
Yeah.
too. You're a great yogi, great student.
Oh,
you
thanks.
bring a squad. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Well, when something's good, I got to share it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, brother, thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Play us out, Peyton. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. Thank you to our new listeners, new commenters. Angela, I saw you posted. Thank you. You subscribed.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, girl?
Thank you to Nice Guy Digital, Adobe Radio. Peyton, thank you, sir. Thank you to Alex at Quack Branding for all the social media awesomeness. Thank you to the universe.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good ending.
Yeah. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.